Howdy, folks. Welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from funRonni. Now, Ronnie has nothing to do with this hat that I'm wearing. It's a Georgia hat, and there's a reason I'm wearing it. It's because Bill Anderson was raised in Decatur, Georgia. Decatur. So I'm guessing he was born there, too. So, well, firstly, Ronnie, thank you for this gift and request. I'm doing another. This is episode 3. Part 1 of 6, because the way of a history of Bill Anderson, his career, Vince Gill is hosting it. Their artists is sharing their stories and vignettes and such. But I don't know how long the original series was, but I already did episode 1, which was 90 minutes long. I broke it down into 6 parts. And then now we're skipping episode 2, which I assume was also 90 minutes. And we're doing episode 3. So this episode 3, which was 90 minutes, Ronnie made the equivalent of 6 gifts to the channel for me to do this 90-minute documentary breakdown. So that's what we're doing. And Ronnie said that she's skipping episode 2 of Bill's 50 years in the biz. And Ronnie said, this stuff is so great, I just need to request it. So there we have it. All right, guys. Bill Anderson's, here we go.
You're invited to the party, celebrating 50 years of unprecedented success in the country music industry. Bill Anderson has written more songs and had more songs recorded than any other country music writer in history. And that's something to celebrate.
Started in college.
So we invited all of his friends, cooked us up a big old cake, and tried to do this celebration right. Hosted by Vince Gill, this collection features many of Bill's biggest hits. So we're glad you chose to attend this bash. For one of country music's true legends, welcome to Bill Anderson's 50th anniversary celebration.
I wonder who all was
Bill, we've been
invited
talking a lot
come.
today. Well-deserved 50 years of a great career as an artist and also as a songwriter. And you've maintained a presence in that entire stretch of time. Let me ask you what you think about the next 50 years, not so much for yourself, but for this music.
Well, I think in a lot of ways this music is in very good hands. I think there's a lot of wonderful young talent out there that can carry it on to where it needs to go. You know, the one thing constant about music is it's constantly changing, constantly evolving. I've had to remind myself several times in recent years that when Roger Miller and Mel Tillis and Johnny Paycheck and Bill Anderson, and when we came to town, and Hank and Harlan as writers, we weren't doing the same music that Roy Acuff and Ernest Tubb and people had been doing prior to that. And actually, when they came along, it wasn't the same as the Possum Hunters and the Gully Jumpers and some of the original string bands that started the Opry. So I imagine, you know, we sit around sometimes, I think, and we say, well, you know, some of this new country music, maybe it's not country. I imagine that Ernest Tubb and Roy Acuff probably sat around and said that about us. Yeah. What do these guys think they're doing, you know? So it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing, and I think that's as it should be. I just hope, and there's a friend of mine sitting right out in front of me out here named Jamie Johnson that I think has got a real good chance to kind of lead the way. I just want you know, sometimes like in fashion, you know, it's so old, it's new again.
Right.
I want country music. You sang on a song that I helped to write with Buddy Cannon and Paul Overstreet that Joe Nichols did called "Old Things New."
Great song.
And I just I'm wanting to see them make some old things new, and bring the feeling and the heart back to the stories, and not be afraid. I was talking to one of the band members, and I was telling them how good they were doing. They said, "Well, we're not afraid to be country." Yeah. And I don't think any of us should be afraid or ashamed to be country.
Well, I'd love to hear you say that, because I've felt the same. We had this conversation, the two of us, some years ago, and we made that comment that at the time when you were really striking that hot iron, you were not as what had come before you. And,
that's right.
And I think that the one thing I noticed that has disappeared slightly with what's going on today is the element of traditional country music is maybe not as big a part of it as it always has been. I thought things always got contemporary. They got whether they got Southern rock, whether they got pop, it didn't matter which way it went, but there was always a traditional element that never lost its way. There was always that going on, and that seems to be the one thing that doesn't quite have the place that it always has, which I really miss. We have a young girl here today that is of that ilk. She really loves the great traditional country music. She's become a new friend of mine, and I know she's probably recorded some of your songs and made her first record. And she's someone that all of us are kind of going, oh, great, somebody's wanting to be a really traditional country singer. Yeah. And Tia Goins is here somewhere today. I don't know where she is. There she is in the back. Hi, Tia.
Hey. Thank you. I can't tell you all how honored I am to be sitting in this room. I grew up in Missouri, listened to an AM radio and my grandma's record collection, and most of the people that are sitting in here influenced me, and especially you, Bill. I grew up just loving traditional country music. It's all I knew. It's all I knew that was even out there. And to be here today among you all, I'm very humbled and very honored to be a part of this.
Well, you just keep that torch burning bright.
I'm gonna do my best. I feel like there's a whole generation out there that doesn't know this kind of country music, the kind of country music that we do, and I hope to get it out there so that those kids can know where it all came from.
You see this face, Tia's? She's commented on a couple of the reactions that I've done, and that always, no matter who the artist is, big, up-and-comer that you never heard of, I'm always humbled, honored, happy, all that stuff. But Tia is such a sweetheart, even during COVID, doing stuff, I think, from her garage just to keep it going. But Tia, I've said this, I'd love to see like Tia and Mo Pitney do some kind of tour together. I don't know, maybe if I get this the right circumstances, I'll try to put a tour together that does that. All right, here we go.
Got a song picked out and sing for us, buddy?
I do. I'm going to walk out backwards, if that's okay.
I love it. I've reacted to that. I loved it, too.
Y'all watch this.
I'd rather live a life of lies and fantasy.
8 years ago, I reacted to this.
Realize you're leaving me. You build me up so high, my heart can't stand the fall. And life without your love just isn't life at all. So walk out backwards if you must go. Wave one last hello. The truth won't hurt so much if I can just pretend. So walk out backwards and I'll thank you walking in. Oh, yeah.
Bill wrote this?
Walked all over me, and now you're walking out to love somebody new. But you're not by yourself, 'cause my heart's leaving too. So walk out backwards if you must go, and please don't wave goodbye. Just wave one last hello. The truth won't hurt so much if I can just pretend. So walk out backwards and I'll thank you walking.
see Rhonda at some point too.
Great job, Tia.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what I'm talking about, carrying it into the future. Like
Sure. Tell me,
Yeah.
so many of your songs were shuffles. The shuffle beat is most real musicians, real lovers of country music. It's the greatest thing, greatest feel. It's the greatest to dance to. It's the greatest to listen to. What's your recollection of how the shuffle got started in country music? You wrote so many great
What is
ones.
it?
I associated with Ray Price.
Okay, me too.
I don't know that Ray was the first one to do it. You go back, I imagine Bob Wills probably did it, and different forms. But I associate it. I'm not sure that Crazy Arms was a shuffle. It may have been a 2/4, but it was about the time that came out that you began to hear these things. My shoes keep walking back to you. Heartaches by the number. These kinds of things. I associated with Ray Price. I don't know about you guys. And then Buck picked it up and began to do a lot of it. And Jan, you did shuffles early on, the one you slip
I still
around
do.
with, and some of those
I
songs.
do
Win
shuffles
Stewart.
every chance I get.
Some of it may have come off the West Coast. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, when we started, it was called the West Coast Shuffle because we were out there, and it was a little different, as I think Mr. Capps can verify that it's different than the shuffle that they get in Nashville on the sessions. And for one thing, it's more up-tempo, and like Buck, I think, did that. And my first record was a shuffle with Win Stewart, and I love shuffles.
Well, I think there's a drummer, Buddy Harmon, the late Buddy Harmon, that gets so much credit for really being the kingpin of how great a shuffle could feel with him and Bob Moore playing bass. And
Junior Husky.
And Junior, exactly right. And
I truly believe it did start on that West Coast, Miss Jan. I was growing up out there too, and that Buck Owens influence. Just got to sing with Lyle Lovett a couple of weeks ago, and that shuffle beat is just, there's something about it that's infectious. It just gets in your bones. I wasn't accepted as a country singer coming as a teenager from California until I did Rocky Top. It wasn't country unless it was bluegrass way back then.
Yeah.
Well, it spread to Texas too, and Texas took up the shuffle, and it just got all over Texas,
And still is.
and still is. And when I came to Nashville, everybody thought I would do a shuffle song. Yeah.
No, it started there.
Once it spread to Texas.
That's what I'm talking
Well, they said it started in California.
No.
So it started in Texas.
How do they know this in California?
Well, you know what? Let's go against what started in Texas. and spread to California. There you go.
As a boy growing up in Memphis,
Ed Bruce?
heard very much in black music in Memphis.
There you go.
Shuffle,
sure.
blues shuffle.
Yeah, blues shuffles were different. They were similar, but there was a 2/4 thing to it in the way the country musicians played it. A lot of times, Bob or Junior, they'd play just the root, just play the rocking back and forth, and the tic-tac would really carry the pulse and the thing that made it walk.
I always said it's good to take some Texans and tie them to a chair and start playing a shuffle. They'd kill themselves. They couldn't dance.
That's right.
There was a few of those tunes out there in the 50s that I was playing dances with dance bands that would use that rhythm.
Right, exactly.
Just a few of them.
That's what I came up on, yeah.
It took a long time to really think the folks from Texas liked you because they would never clap when you were done playing, but if they were dancing and you saw the hats,
That's right.
That was it.
yeah, you were winning, man.
That was
So-
it.
Winning, big time.
First time I heard applause, it scared me to death.
They hate me.
That's great.
Get me off here.
I'm just curious because, like I said, so many of your songs, City Lights was
This
was,
is great, Ronnie.
the first, was it not? Was it one
Yeah,
of the
well,
first?
let me ask you, to call it a shuffle, does it have to be the walking? Does it have to be the four beats to the bar?
The 4 on the floor, I don't know. You'd have to ask a drummer, what's the real difference,
Well, the 2/4. There's a 2/4 shuffle.
2/4 shuffle.
Yeah, there's both. I mean, there's some where the
Just a
drummers
slow shuffle,
4
I
on the
think.
floor with the kick and
Because they know
and
more about
everybody's
that
walking.
than I do. But
If it ain't walking, it ain't talking, Jack.
Well, you're right in that there's nothing like a shuffle to wake up a good country music crowd. Boy, you tear into one of those and it'll usually do the trick.
And I would think in the day, we were talking earlier about how things change, and I would think in the day that when that came across and it was honky-tonkin', that must have felt like rock and roll in comparison to, you know, what Roy Acuff might have been doing, the Carter family, or what have you, you know. And in the day, I'll bet, man, it's like,
And really needing the drums.
feeling like beer now, you know. Feels like a beer joint. Well, Jimmy Fortune is with us today.
Yes, he is.
Jimmy is one of the, I love Jimmy Fortune because we both sing like women and we're okay with that.
That's exactly right.
But we're glad,
I wish I could sing
you're
higher.
here. We're glad you're here, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. It's an honor to be here. I tell you, I'm a blessed guy to be here today. God's really been good to me because I get to sit in this room with such great people. And, you know, I think about Bill was brought up many times in conversations with me and the Statlers through the years. And
well, wait till you hear my side of it.
Well, I got to tell you, when I first went with the Statler brothers, of course, Lou DeWitt was there before me. He was the reason that I came there to kind of help them to get back to going again after he had surgery. And lo and behold, it became a full-time thing for me. But when it became full-time, I remember going to Don and Harold and asking them, I said, look, Lou wrote songs. I said, if I write songs, would you guys record them? They said, sure, if they're good enough. And so, I thought, well, you know, I wanted to learn from him, you know. So he said, well, rather than me, let's tell you what to do. Listen to some Bill Anderson songs.
Really?
And so, yeah. So, and I tell you what, those guys love and respect you so much, and so do I.
Well, it goes both ways.
But I got to tell you that there's one story that you might not like because you happened to bring your ball team up there to Stanton, Virginia one time and got beat by somebody.
They brought in a bunch of women.
Ronnie, this is a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what Jamie does. I'm so glad to have heard from Tia. Rhonda, I imagine that we're going to hear her at some point. I don't know what was on episode 2 and who sang and who got their turn or what have you, but I'm so looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to hearing what Buddy Cannon's got to say. You know, his daughters, it's got Melanie and, Melanie, I gave a 10 to one of her songs. Oh, it was Marla Cannon-Goodman, other daughter, The Fool. I'd given that a 10. But Melanie's, I'd given a number of songs I've done by that. Mickey LaMancha had requested these. But anyway, Ronnie, thank you again. Somebody suggested I go with Bucky for the lobster because I'm torn right now between Buck and Socrates. But it might be neither. I still haven't decided on the name for the country lobster, the Rockin' a Country Lobster. Or maybe somebody suggested Rocky. I think it was Bucky. I don't know. It was close to one of those. But anyway. All right, guys. See you on the next video. Definitely see you on part 2. Thank you again, Ronnie. Have a great day and keep rocking the country.
I just hope, and there's a friend of mine sitting right out in front of me out here named Jamie Johnson that I think has got a real good chance to kind of lead the way. I just want you know, sometimes like in fashion, you know, it's so old, it's new again.
Right.
I want country music. You sang on